Welcome to A Fifth of Jack Gaming, where today we're jumping away and starting our engines with Jumpstart. We got 2 packs because 2 packs is all you need to do to make a little quick deck to be able to play with your friends. So, with that said, we're going to end up opening up these 2 packs and see what kind of deck we'll end up with. So something unique about Jumpstart is that it's made for all different levels. You could be a beginner to an expert and be able to have something in this set for you. It's always fun to be able to include more people. Looks like the first pack is going to the Doggos. Hopefully we have a good boy inside. Let's see what we got. So it's in this little plastic saran that we end up trying to rip open. And we have little Doggos, so we're going to toss that right there. So we got 7 lands, with the special one being on top. Look at that little doggo art. Being a little good boy, sitting back and relaxing, watching everything go on. Now let's see what we're going to end up doing with those lands. Well, it looks like we're going to the Thriving Heath, where it enters the battlefield tapped, and as it comes in, we get to choose a color other than white. Tap, add a white or that chosen color. This is to add a little bit of flexibility for those other colors that we have. So we got Pacifism, costs us 1 and a white for an enchantment. Enchanted creature can attack or block. We got a Trusty Retriever, costs us 3 and a white for Doug. That's a 2/3 body. When it enters the battlefield, we get to choose one. Put a +1/+1 counter on Trusty Retriever, or return a target artifact or enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand. Try and just be a good old boy. Rambunctious Mutt costs us 3 and 2 white. For a dog, that's a 3/4 body. When it enters the battlefield, destroy a target artifact or enchantment that an opponent controls. Being a little terror, huh? Cathar's Companion costs us 2 and a white. For a dog, that's a 3/1 body. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, it gains indestructible until end of turn. That means any kind of damage effects or anything like that wouldn't kill it. However, neg1 counters will end up doing it, or you can just exile it. But it's a 3/1 body. We have an Alpine Watchdog. Costs us 1 and a white. For a dog, has vigilance, and is a 2/2 body. Feet of Resistance costs us 1 and a white for an instant. Put a +1/+1 counter on a target creature you control. It gains protection from a color of your choice until end of turn. So this gaining protection from a color, it can't be blocked, targeted, or dealt damage, enchanted, or equipped with anything of that color. So you gotta end up being careful of what color you chose, but it gives you a little bit of flexibility. Secure the Scene costs us 4 and a white. For a sorcery, exile a non-land permanent. Its controller creates a 1/1 white soldier creature token. Supply Runners costs us 4 and a white. For a dog, that's a 2/2 body. When it enters the battlefield, we get to put a +1/+1 counter on each other creature you control. Mass Counterage. Release the dogs. Looks like someone let the dogs out. It's a 3 and a white. For a sorcery, create 4 1/1 white dog creature tokens. Alpha Guard Hound costs us 2 and a white. For a dog, that's a 2/2 body, has flash. That means it can be played whenever. You can play an instant, so whenever you want to. When Alpha Guard Hound enters the battlefield, target creature gets +0/+3 until end of turn. Giving them the big booties. And it looks like we got another. It looks like we have a Selfless Savior. Costs us 1 white for a dog. Sacrifice it, another target Another target creature you control gains indestructible until end of turn. Has a 1/1 body. And then we have the old pack leader. Costs 1 and a white for a dog. Other dogs you control get +1/+1. Whenever a pack leader attacks, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn to dogs you control. Has a 2/2 body. Someone's got to watch out for all the dogs. Alright. Sounds like we're going to have a rough time about this. So let's see what the little Bowser is going to have as a partner. Oh man, we're in Orzhov. Means black and white action. The rogues are coming out to play. Let's see what they bring. Alright. Rogues. Seven good old swamps. The fancy Jumpstart art is going to be in the very front. And it's going to be followed by Thriving More. Enters the battlefield tapped. As it enters the battlefield, we get to choose a color other than black. Tap, add a black, or add a chosen color. Nocturnal Feeder costs 2 and a black for a vampire rogue. Flying, when it dies, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Has a 2/1 body. We have a Nightshade Stinger, costs 1 black for a 1/1 body that's a fairy rogue, flying, and it cannot block. Finishing Blow costs 4 and a black for an instant. Destroy a target creature or planeswalker. Woo, buddy. It's a little bit expensive, but in this thing it's understandable. Lawless Broker costs 2 and a black. For Aetherborn Rogue, it's a 3/2 body, and whenever it dies, put a +1/+1 counter on a target creature you control. Mass Blackguard costs 1 and a black for a human rogue that's a 2/1 body, flash, and it costs 2 and a black. And Mass Blackguard gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Alchemist Gift costs 1 black. It's an instant. Target creature gets +1/+1 and gains your choice of Death Touch or Lifelink until end of turn. So Death Touch means if anything would touch it, it would die. Lifelink means if whatever damage it does, you would gain that much life. Stab Wound costs 2 and a black for an enchantment. Enchanted creature gets -2/-2. At the beginning of the upkeep of the enchanted creature's controller, that player loses 2 life. Man, why couldn't that cost for 2? Because then it would be 2/2/2. Rocking some Rogue Gloves. It's an enchantment, and whenever an enchanted creature deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. The equip cost is 2. See? We got 2/2 action. Ona's Blackguard costs 1 and a black for a fairy rogue that's a 1/1 body. Flying, each other rogue creature you control enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter. Whenever a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter deals combat damage to a player, that player discards a card. Has a 1/1 body. Muslim Turnkey costs 3 and a black for Ogre Rogue. That's right, an Ogre Rogue. Has a 3/2 body, and when it enters the battlefield, return a target creature card from an opponent's choice from your graveyard to your hand. And then we have a Thieves Guild Enforcer, costs 1 black for a human rogue that's a 1/1 body. Flash, whenever Thieves Guild Enforcer or another rogue enters the battlefield under your control, each player mills the top 2 cards. As long as an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard, Thieves Guild gets a +1/+2 and has Death Touch. And the final card is gonna be Gonti, Lord of Luxury. Costs us 2 and 2 black, or legendary creature, Aetherborn Rogue. It's a 2/3 body, Death Touch, and mind me, I have a big wall of text for you. When it enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of a target opponent's library. Exile one of those cards face down, and then put the rest of them at the bottom of the library in a random order. You may look at that card and cast that card as long as it means exiled. And you may spend mana as though it was mana of any type of to cast that spell. Whoo! So you get to choose whatever opponent you want to. So like if you're playing Commander and you have a group of 4 people, you have to choose one, but you can be able to have the card and be able to play it. Gonti doesn't even have to be there. What the craziness? Alright, it looks like we're rocking orders off. We have the rogues bringing their little buddies, their little doggos. Sounds like John Wick happening all over again. What did you think of the packs? Let us know down in the comments down below. And if you're liking the content that we're putting out, like, subscribe, and hit that little bell icon to be notified about any of our future content. Also, don't be afraid to share us. Thank you for watching, and until next time, we'll see you later.